Having only a high school diploma is a disgrace to the family. Please leave.
At my brother's wedding, his mill suddenly tried to make me leave. Although my brother is a doctor, working at a hospital same as his Phil, I have nothing to do with this. It's just too cruel to try to kick me out over my educational background. Besides, I have a respectable job. There's a reason I didn't go to college. But arguing back in the middle of such a celebratory occasion would only lead to a fight and ruin the mood. When I was about to leave, as she said, someone walked up to her. It was my brother, the groom.
Wait, are you not aware of my sister's profession?
What?
The mill had no idea of the shocking turn of events that was about to unfold. I'm Emily, 33 years old. I'm a freelancer. My job is busy, and not just domestically. I often go abroad for work, as directed by my office. Both my parents passed away from illness 10 years ago, but I have a brother, 7 years my senior, and a doctor. He's my only family. Recently, he contacted me. Hey, it's been a while. What's up? Do you need something?
Well, I've decided to get married.
What? That's great. Congratulations. I thought my brother, who had remained single until 40, would never marry. His happiness is my happiness as well.
I was thinking of waiting until you got married. But I didn't want to keep her waiting.
What are you talking about? If you waited for me, you'd never get married.
Don't say that. Find someone nice and give me peace of mind.
Sure, in due time. My brother's fiancée turns out to be the daughter of the head doctor at the hospital where he works. Her name is Melissa. She works at the hospital reception, and they met as colleagues and have been together for a long time.
Speaking of which, Melissa's sister went to the same middle and high school as you.
Really? What a coincidence. Were we classmates?
Yo, you were in the same class at times. Her name is Ashley.
Ashley?
Something wrong?
No, nothing. I'm looking forward to meeting Melissa. The reason I was shaken by the mention of Ashley's name is because there's a backstory to it. Actually, when I was young, I had a serious illness, which led to frequent hospital visits and often missing school. During those times, Ashley was the one who always called me a truant and weakling. My illness was a heart condition, which got worse, and by my senior year of high school, I could hardly attend school. Whenever I could go, Ashley, from another class, would spot me and harshly mock me, saying things like, "Look who decided to show up. Been faking sick to play games. Bet you won't get into any college." I didn't hate school, but I couldn't stand meeting Ashley. To think such an unpleasant person would become my relative. But now that I'm well into my 30s, maybe Ashley has changed. I hope so, at least. Circling back to my illness, I ended up not being able to attend college right away. I had to stay bedridden in the hospital to avoid straining my heart. The only way to save me was a major heart surgery, but it was so risky that no surgeon was willing to undertake it. At that time, my brother, who was pursuing a career in medicine, to help me found a renowned surgeon, known for his expertise in cardiovascular surgery, Dr. Smith. Meeting him turned out to be a life-changing event for me. The surgery was major, but it was successfully performed, and at 19, I finally got a healthy body. Thank you, Dr. Smith. When I said that, Dr. Smith kindly responded, "There must be so many things you couldn't do because of your illness, right? Now, go achieve your dreams." And that has brought me to where I am today. Now, a few days after my brother informed me about his upcoming marriage, he reached out again, asking me to attend a pre-wedding family meeting. The thought of meeting Ashley again didn't excite me much, but I was willing to do it for my brother's sake. Now that our parents are gone, I'm the only family my brother has. On the day of the meeting, I headed to a high-end restaurant in New York. The bride's side included his Mill, Melissa, and Ashley. His Phil, a hospital director, couldn't attend due to sudden work commitments. On the groom's side, it was just my brother and me. My brother and I arrived early at the restaurant and waited anxiously. Have you met your Mill or Ashley before?
My Mill is still an active radiologic technologist, so she's my colleague. She's very accomplished. I'll be meeting Ashley for the first time. She seems to be doing various part-time jobs.
While we were chatting, Melissa, the bride-to-be, showed up.
Sorry for making you wait.
It's okay. We just got here.
Nice to meet you. I'm Emily. I've been looking forward to meeting you.
The pleasure is all mine. I'm Melissa. Chan always talks about you. He's so proud of you. I'm thrilled we could meet.
Melissa is a tall, beautiful woman with a very kind demeanor. She is outgoing and a great conversationalist. I thought she was a perfect match for my brother, who is a bit shy and introverted. We hit it off immediately, over our shared love for foreign TV shows. I was glad we could get along well. Just as I was feeling happy about it, the Mill and Ashley arrived together. The Mill, still working, had a brisk and confident way of speaking.
Nice to meet you, Emily. So, you and Ashley were classmates? I've heard about you.
If it's from Ashley, it probably wasn't anything good, I thought, feeling a bit uneasy.
Emily, it's been a while. How have you been?
It's been a while. I'm completely healthy now. Ashley, now an adult, didn't exhibit the spitefulness she had in high school and seemed more cheerful. I was relieved. Maybe we could get along after all. The restaurant lived up to its high-end reputation. The food was exquisite. The ingredients and seasoning were perfect, and the conversation flowed. My brother and Melissa seemed very much in love after dating for so long. After eating, they went outside to admire the restaurant's view. When my brother and Melissa left, Ashley's demeanor completely changed.
Still lazing around at home as usual. Emily.
What? No, I'm working.
Sure, as if. Considering you didn't even go to college.
It seems people's personalities don't change much, even as adults. At that moment, all the joy I felt earlier vanished. Even so, wanting to clear up the misunderstanding, I tried to explain. The reason I didn't go to college was because of my illness. I'm working now.
Well, probably just playing around half the time, right? Skipping is just your habit.
That's not true. I hoped the Mill, who had been silent until then, would come to my rescue, but she only added insult to injury.
All our family members are college graduates. We welcome Sean, because he went all the way to become a doctor, but you, well.
Are you saying I'm not worthy of being part of the family?
Yes, I am. Because not going to college means you're just a high school graduate, right? There's nothing more shameful than that. And I don't really want to associate with someone who has a habit of skipping.
I've never skipped.
That's what all lazy people say. A doctor brother and a high school graduate sister that tells us all we need to know about what kind of person you are.
That's too harsh.
Well, make sure you don't attend the wedding. We can't include a high school graduate in our family circle.
She judges people by their educational background. Everyone has their circumstances, and being a high school graduate shouldn't be looked down upon. However, such logic didn't seem to apply to the mill, who had already labeled me as a failure. And her sarcasm was unbearable. Ashley was just like her mother. With all due respect, I started to rebut, but then my brother and Melissa returned to the table. I swallowed my words. I didn't want to cause a scene on my brother's special day.
What's wrong, Emily? You look pale.
That's true. Maybe she's just tired from meeting us. Sorry about that.
The two of them were very kind. I decided to change my mood and responded with a smile. No, it's not that. I just ate too much of the delicious food. I'm having a great time today. The mill and Ashley fell silent. They still wanted to hide their true nature from my brother, faking smiles to cover up. But the coldness in their eyes when they looked at me was unmistakable. Though we got through the situation, the thought of future family interactions weighed heavily on me. Just when I thought I had overcome my illness and grabbed my dream, well, at least Melissa, who's going to be my sil, is a nice person. His Phil didn't come, but I had encountered him through work. He was gentle and kind. Melissa must have taken after her father. Time flies, and before I knew it, the day of my brother's wedding had arrived. Of course, I attended. It was an important day for my brother. I decided not to mind whatever Ashley or the mill might say. The wedding was attended by many hospital colleagues and was a grand affair. My brother looked handsome, and Melissa in her wedding dress was breathtakingly beautiful. The simple design and the silk's luster highlighted her beauty and elegance perfectly. Congratulations, Sean, Melissa. Seeing my brother's happy smile made me feel even happier than if it were my own joy. The wedding went smoothly, and everyone moved to the reception. The atmosphere was lively, with entertainment starting. Looking over at the bride's family table, I saw the mill and Ashley drinking heavily. The mill's face was completely red. She seemed drunk. I hadn't often seen a bride's mother drunk at the reception, and felt a bit worried. My premonition would turn out to be right. The mill marched up to the venue staff hosting the event, and took the microphone from the MC. Then, she began to speak. Before we knew it, Ashley was standing by her side.
Thank you, everyone, for gathering here today for my eldest daughter. It's wonderful to be surrounded by people of such high education and status.
Despite being drunk, she spoke eloquently, which was impressive. However, what she said next was unbelievable.
But there's someone here who doesn't deserve to be among us.
Exactly. It's Sean's sister, Emily. She's a lazy person with a habit of skipping, and she didn't even go to college.
Having only a high school diploma is a disgrace to the family. Please leave.
The room buzzed with whispers, and all eyes turned to me. I think my face turned so red, it was as if fire was coming out of it. I was so embarrassed. I didn't know where to put myself. How could they attempt to kick me out of my brother's wedding just like that, especially using my education background as the reason? And that information is wrong anyway. But I didn't want to ruin my brother's big day, so I stood up to leave. Then, someone walked toward the mill. It was my brother, the groom.
Wait. Are you not aware of my sister's profession?
What?
Ashley shouted.
Emily's job. I know it. She's a part-time worker, right? Because she's just a high school graduate, she can only do bottom-tier jobs.
Then, another person hurried over. It was the Phil.
What are you all saying? Do you even realize what you've done?
But you know, having a high school graduate in the family would be embarrassing, right?
No, Dr. Emily is a freelance doctor, a renowned specialist in cardiovascular surgery. Hospitals around the world seek her expertise.
What?
For Afshan's connections, she's agreed to perform a surgery at our hospital soon. It would be a disaster if she refused us now, considering how booked up she is.
But Ashley said Emily was just a high school graduate.
Ashley stood there, pale and shocked. In truth, I couldn't attend college because of my illness right away. However, thanks to Dr. Smith's surgery, I became healthy. Wanting to help others struggling with illnesses, I aspired to become a doctor. I studied hard and was admitted to a prestigious medical school. Furthermore, I passed the National Medical Licensing Exam. And under Dr. Smith's mentorship, I was recognized as a leading heart surgeon. The Phil, also the hospital director where my brother works, had eagerly requested my services for an upcoming surgery at his hospital.
Dr. Emily, please forgive my wife and daughter for their rudeness. We are truly sorry.
He deeply apologized, with the mill and Ashley standing dumbfounded beside him.
You two apologize now.
Urged by him, they reluctantly bowed their heads. However, their faces were tight with resentment. Please, Director, raise your head.
Can you forgive us?
I need to think about it. If we're going to work in the same hospital, I'll inevitably have to meet these two. I'd rather not if I can help it. I wanted to separate my professional life from this situation, but seeing the mill and Ashley would undoubtedly bring back unpleasant memories. Cardiovascular surgery demands concentration, and any unnecessary distractions can lead to errors in the procedure. This affects the lives of our critical patients.
That's all right. I was planning on separating from my wife soon anyway.
Hearing that, the mill's eyes widened in shock. It seemed as though her drunkenness sobered up instantly.
What are you saying all of a sudden? Why would you leave me?
Do you think I knew nothing?
His revelation was shocking. The mill had been wielding her power as the director's wife within the hospital, known for her tyrannical behavior and harsh words. It had become a problem, with staff targeted by her suffering mentally or resigning. Moreover, she was indulging herself in visiting male host bars and keeping young men as lovers, doing whatever she pleased. It seems even the patient Phil had reached his limit. Ashley, was apparently aiding her mother's whims. Ashley herself, without a steady job, lived off the allowance from her mother and led a carefree life. The Phil had resolved to cut ties with these two. If that's the case, it seems I needn't worry myself. The guests at the venue, who had been listening to this exchange in silent anticipation, seemed to understand who was in the wrong as murmurs began to spread. Terrible, aren't they? Causing trouble in the hospital as a mother-daughter duo. It's those two who should be leaving, whispered comments suggested as everyone looked disdainfully at the Mill and Ashley. Feeling unbearable embarrassment, the two of them fled from the venue. The reception continued without them, enveloped in a warm atmosphere, bringing relief.
Emily, I'm sorry for not noticing.
I'm truly sorry. My mother and Ashley said terrible things. We must have made you feel awful.
I should be the one apologizing for bringing trouble to your special day. I just want the two of you to be happy. It seems I would have a good relationship with my brother and his wife going forward. After that, the Phil and the Mill divorced. The Mill was also fired from the hospital. The Phil demanded compensation for infidelity from the Mill and her lover. Ashley was disowned by the Phil. Rumor has it that the Mill and Ashley now live in a dilapidated apartment, working part-time jobs to get by. It seems the Mill's lover discarded her shortly afterward. I continue my work as a doctor. Currently, I'm working hard alongside my brother to help those suffering from illnesses. Recently, I've found myself getting along well and having friendly conversations with one of my brother's colleague doctors. These days, I'm feeling a sense of happy anticipation